Hello, my name is Rom Gayoso. I have with me Rom Gayoso. He is the keynote speaker of our upcoming Market and Competitive Intelligence Conference. So I wonder, Rom, whether we can talk a little bit about your background.
Sure, of course. So by training, I'm an economist. I've also taught at local schools here in Arizona. My research interests are basically in competitive intelligence and a specific technique called scenario planning. And my work experience, basically 15 years in high tech and then 5 years in aerospace and defense.
Okay, and you're living, as I can see from your background picture, in the middle of, well, nowhere, right? So where is this?
So this is the Sonora Desert. We're in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, but you're not a Native American, I understand?
No, I'm not. I was born in Brazil. My family emigrated to Florida. Then I moved here for school.
Okay, well, it's something. I can imagine you've seen quite a few places now ending up in the middle of a desert, of course. Yeah, but talking about desert and the weird environments, how come that you joined this competitive market intelligence arena?
Out of necessity. So at my first job in Intel in semiconductors was to look at the transition in technology. So I had to understand not only the technology, but what others were doing. So competitive intelligence became a natural for me.
Okay, that's interesting. So at least I understand you haven't had a formal training in competitive intelligence, but you had done some mentoring, or did you read books, or how did you learn about that field?
Yeah, was self-taught for a long time, and then I joined different conferences, and I started to attend. And I think it's the best way for someone to learn is to engage, to attend conferences such as ICI. So I had the opportunity to look at the most advanced techniques and the speakers and the research and where is it going. So my own PhD was in strategy, so it was somewhat similar.
Somewhat similar means related to it. I understand you authored several books. So this is about scenario planning. How come that you picked this topic, or was it part of your dissertation?
Yes, so scenario planning is a very specific theory and a technique. So basically, we're trying to anticipate future events, and that's so one arm of it is futures or futurism or future studies, and the other is intelligence. So what kind of outcomes will be for certain situations, and that's used for wars, for diseases and pandemics, such as the case right now, but also in private companies and industry. So what will be technology evolving, or how will technology be evolving in the next 5 or 10 years in this field or in the other field? So it's very related.
So I guess this is pretty much leading over to your presentation, our conference. Could you give us a bit of a highlights of what you will be presenting?
Yes, certainly. So if someone is coming to the ICI presentation, it's because they already get the tough questions. So I'm going to help people think through a very tough question. So the case is interesting. I'm picking a small private company in a small but growing aerospace market. So what I want to do there is think of a framework. How are we going to analyze this private company where there's very little or no information? We need to have some basis of thought, how we're going to address it. Then we're going to think about a specific market, how we're going to characterize the market. And then we're going to think about some potential outcomes. And that's where the scenario planning comes in, which is how will this company unfold in the next 5 and 10 years?
And that's all for an embryonic, i.e. non-existing market at this moment of time, which is pretty challenging. I guess everybody knows about market sizing and, well, at least some initial figures, how to come up with something for your boss, for his business plan. But this, of course, very challenging. So I appreciate your topic, and I'm sure it will be a very interesting keynote. And of course, we have a lot of time during our conference to get into real one-on-one contacts, answering questions, and yeah, hopefully getting some inspiration and motivation.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Rom. Looking forward to your presentation and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks. See you soon.